Let's go ahead and get started the meeting tonight. I appreciate everybody coming. So if everybody could go ahead and stand so we can say the prayer and the pledge of allegiance of the flag.
Let us pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, we come before you on this evening, thanking you for another day. For God, we thank you that this is the day that you have made, and we have rejoiced in it all day long. We ask for your blessings upon this council. We ask that you continue to lead, guide, and direct us in every decision that we make. Father God, we ask for blessings upon this community and each and every one that's assembled here at this meeting tonight. God, may you bless our families, our friends, and our local government, our state, and our federal government. And we ask these things in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So we've got the agenda before us. Is there any deletions, additions, or corrections to the agenda?
I have
Council?
an amendment.
Yep, sure.
Okay, the item under the county manager's report regarding Easton Airport, the request to apply for Federal Aviation Administration Airport Improvement Project will be postponed until our next meeting on June 10th.
Okay,
I'll second for the removal of that item.
okay. We got a motion second. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, all right. Next on the agenda is the minutes of April 15th and April 22nd. Council's had a chance to take a look at that. Is there any additions, deletions, or corrections to the minutes?
No.
At this time? Okay, hearing none, the chair moves that the minutes be accepted as unanimous consent. Okay, next is the disbursements of May 20th and May 27th. We've had a chance to take a look at it. Is there any additions, deletions, or corrections to the disbursements? Okay, hearing none, the chair moves that the disbursements be accepted as unanimous consent. Okay, so next on the agenda is a proclamation for 40th anniversary of Chesapeake Music. Okay, come on up. Okay, here we go. Chesapeake Music. Do we need, you want to go ahead and do the drums and all that stuff? Or? Okay.
Do you want to have her read this into the
Yep,
record?
yep, I was going to get right to it. You want to read that into the record?
Sure.
You want to hand this to him?
Sure.
Okay.
Proclamation, 40th anniversary of Chesapeake Music. Whereas Chesapeake Music, based in Easton, Maryland, brings renowned musicians to delight, engage, and surprise today's audiences and educate, inspire, and develop tomorrow's. And whereas Chesapeake Music was organized and hosted its first concert at the Chesapeake Bay Maritime Museum in 1985. And whereas Chesapeake Music quickly grew to a much anticipated 2-week June music festival. And whereas Chesapeake Music created the International Chesapeake Chamber Music Competition for young ensembles with a top prize of $10,000, helping to launch the professional careers of multiple talented musicians and ensembles. And whereas Chesapeake Music further broadened its impact with youth reach programming in partnership with Talbot Arts and Talbot County Public Schools by providing master classes for middle school band students with graduate music students from the University of Maryland. And whereas Chesapeake Music now provides year-round programming with interlude concerts featuring talented musicians, including rising stars from the field of classical, jazz, and crossover music in Easton's Ebenezer Theater. And whereas Chesapeake Music brings world-class music to a growing audience of all ages on Maryland's Eastern Shore and beyond, while exporting something of the Chesapeake's uniqueness to musicians who take part in the festival, competition, and interlude concerts. And whereas Chesapeake Music will offer its 40th anniversary Chamber Music Festival from June 6th to the 14th, 2025 at the Ebenezer Theater in Easton, themed on reflection and celebration, bringing together 9 accomplished musicians long associated with the festival, 3 new acclaimed prize-winning musicians, and the Juilliard String Quartet to again surprise and delight audiences. Now therefore, we, the County Council of Talbot County, do hereby congratulate and commend the board, staff, volunteers, and musicians of Chesapeake Music on this occasion, and encourage the music-loving community to support and enjoy the 40th Chesapeake Chamber Music Festival. Given under our hands in the Great Seal of Talbot County this 27th day of May in the year of our Lord 2025.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. It's all yours.
Well, there's a lot of text already in there, and I
Yeah.
really don't have too much else to add. It's an exciting chapter for us.
Yes.
I think that while there are a lot of clauses and accomplishments and elements of growth over 40 years, I think at our heart, we're just all about bringing music and music education of the highest level to Talbot County and to the Eastern Shore. And we're looking for new ways to serve our community. So we're hopeful that this next chapter of ours is going to be full of service to that community.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Lesher?
Well, I've been enjoying the festival since the first year when I was a summer employee at Chesapeake Bay Maritime Museum and got to witness one of those first concerts, and have been following the organization ever since. The way it has grown and continued to serve more and more of this community is truly impressive, and thank you and congratulations on this milestone, and we look forward to what you will continue to do in this community in the years to come.
Thank you.
Okay. Council? Good? Everybody good?
Oh, I thought
Yep.
Lynn was going, but
Yep.
I just
Yes,
echo
yes.
what Pete
No,
said.
sorry.
Congratulations on the 40th anniversary of Chesapeake Music, and we certainly look forward to the future and another 40 years. Thank you for being here tonight.
Ditto that. Great
Yep.
contribution to our community.
Yep, we appreciate it. Come on up.
I'll move the proclamation.
Okay. Yep.
Second.
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay. Yep. There we go. All right, everybody smile now. Okay, perfect. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda, Madam Secretary, Bill 1585.
Bill number 1585, an act to establish the 2025-2026 annual budget and appropriation ordinance.
Okay, welcome. This is it. This is it.
Good evening, Council. Martha Sparks, Finance Director for Talbot County, and I have with me
Caitlin Foster Clark, Assistant Finance Director.
So do
You
we
want-
start talking about the amendments? Okay,
Okay,
so
yep.
we have an amendment that has been offered by Councilman Lesher regarding Amendment 1. Does that have to be introduced before?
Yes.
Yeah, uh-huh.
So you want a show of hands to introduce?
Yep.
So introduced by Hayes and Lesher.
Mr. Stepp, do you wish to introduce Amendment 1?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, so a description of Amendment 1 and what it includes. It is decreases in the FY26 capital outlay budgets in the amount of $1,030,700 for several departments. This is a result of capital outlay items that were able to be purchased in FY25 using fourth quarter transfers in FY25. This also includes restoring funding back to the original request for Upper Shore Aging and the library. This also includes retirement costs of our community colleges in the amount of $12,858. an additional $440,098 for teachers' pensions. Both of those items were liabilities of the state of Maryland that were passed down to the counties, and these amounts reflect Talbot County's share. This amendment also includes $1,100,000 in additional appropriation for Talbot County Public Schools for critical needs based upon their revised request, $500,000 in salary increases for teachers and support staff, and the other portion is $600,000 for 9 high priority positions, 2 social workers, 6 instructional assistants for multilingual learners and special ed students, and 1 special ed teacher. This amendment includes an education supplement of 1.5 cents and additional revenues related to that education supplement of $1,540,098. Also, there were minor amendments in sections 2 and 3, or excuse me, sections 2 and 16 of the amendment that are related to grants. A lot of our grants were not allowed, they received their notice of funding available at a late time, and we weren't able to get the accurate numbers when we introduced Bill 1585. So these are just tweaks, and they're revenue neutral for Talbot County taxpayers.
Mhm. Okay.
Discussion on this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
This would fulfill the school budget's reduced request, plus the items that we've identified. Knowing that the blueprint is going to require us to increase, what, 4.9 million next year, this would be a small step in that direction, and frankly, it will make next year, an election year, a lot easier for all of us up here, and a lot easier for our taxpayers. It'll be a smaller increase, mandated increase next year if we bite off this slightly larger additional piece. I just think that this is prudent and takes the long view into consideration. And I'd urge support for this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So while Mr. Lesher and I may not agree about the long view, because a lot of the information that we hear about the future is estimated, so we're not quite sure what it's going to look like next year.
Right.
But the reason why I agreed with the introduction was because of the salary increases and the new positions. So that seems to be vital in the requests that came to us, and for that reason is why I stood along Mr. Lesher in introducing this amendment.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
No comment.
No comment. Hey, Dave, anything you want to say?
Yeah, no comments from me on this one, thank you.
Okay, all right, so, okay, at this time, you want to go ahead and make a motion?
Well, it's on the table. I think you can call
Okay.
the roll
Yeah.
Okay,
on Amendment
okay,
1.
okay. Call the roll?
Mr. Callahan?
No.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
No.
Ms. Milky?
No.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay. Let's do the second amendment.
The second amendment was requested by Council President Callahan, and that includes many of the items that I listed in the First Amendment, but I will repeat them. Decreases in the FY26 capital budget outlays of $1,030,700 for several departments as a result of capital outlay items that were purchased in FY25 through fourth quarter transfers. This also includes restoring funding back to the original request for Upper Shore Aging in the Library, retirement costs of community colleges in the amount of $12,858, $440,098 for teachers' pension. Both of those items were liabilities of the state of Maryland that were passed down to the counties, and those amounts reflect Talbot County's share. This amendment also includes $600,000 in additional appropriation for Talbot County Public Schools for 9 priority positions, 2 social workers, 6 instructional assistants for multilingual learners and special ed students, and 1 special ed teacher. This includes an education supplement of 1.06 cents and projected revenues from the education supplement of $1,040,098. It also includes the adjustments that I mentioned to the grant-related revenues and expenses.
Okay, well, thank you. So I do obviously support this. I thought the other, we had that work session and
Don't we have to introduce the amendment? Don't you have to introduce?
yeah, I guess we should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did for the
Okay.
first.
Raise of hands?
Introduce it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mr. Stepp, do you wish to introduce amendment number 2?
Dave, did you hear us? We're introducing amendment number 2, or do you agree with that? Yeah, he might have fell off. Yep.
Having joined these meetings by phone myself, it is always suboptimal.
Exactly.
Hey, yes, thank you for calling back.
Okay. Can you hear me, Dave?
The question was, do you wish to introduce amendment number 2?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and introduced by council?
Yes.
Introduced by council.
Okay. So I thought we had a great conversation with the school, and I kind of felt that, you know, I think there is a big need for teachers, that's for sure. So that's why I supported it, and I think this council really supports getting more teachers and you know, just trying to help things along. We had the other 440 for the pension, so. But I would ask that the school board use the money that we give you for teachers. I would like to see that, and not for something else. So I would like to see it for the teachers. So, anybody else?
Yeah, I'd just like to say that I was originally on board with this amendment, but I need more security that, in fact, if we do this budget amendment for this purpose, that it will, in fact, be used for that purpose, and I'm not advised that it necessarily would be, so for that reason, I couldn't support it.
Okay. Okay.
No, I mean, I've said it before. I believe that, you know, the teachers are important to our community as well as the students, and we just need to make sure that the funding is getting down into the classroom to the teachers, and that the appropriate increases, which we don't have control over, are across the board for teachers and administration across the board, same percentage. So willing to support this because we know that this is important to the school system in hiring those new positions that they asked for that Martha mentioned.
Yep.
Well, folks, they say sausage making and legislation are two things that you don't want to watch being done, but here we are. I will support this. I think we should be going farther, but this goes some distance, and certainly I will support this amendment since the first one was defeated.
And I just will add one thing. I think, Ms. Melke, I think we've got a phenomenal relationship with the school. And I trust that what they ask for, that's what they'll use the money for. So I don't have any one way or the other of they wouldn't use it for teachers, and because they've been great to us and we've been great to them, and we've got a phenomenal working relationship with them. So I would ask you to come along with us on that, please. So,
I hear you.
okay. Dave, would you like to say anything?
Yeah, Mr. President, thank you. Now, I'll add here too for, I will too be advocating here for this amendment. that we're losing due to the lack of federal funding because of the COVID funds. We've heard loud and clear that those positions are going away, and that we'd like to retain them. So that's the reason I'll be voting yes for this amendment.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Stepp. Okay, ready for the vote? Madam Secretary?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
No.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, good.
And now we're down to the legislation itself, as amended.
I think so.
Um, I'd love to comment if, are
Do
we
we have
going,
another amendment?
We don't have to because this one already passed.
this is passed,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
Okay,
Mhm.
got it.
Yep. Okay.
Makes sense.
Comments on the legislation?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'll start with a number of thank yous. First to the county manager and his staff for presenting a tight and balanced budget to this council. Second to our finance staff for leading us through the smoothest ever process that allowed the council to focus on real issues without losing focus on the details. And there are a lot of details in a $160 million budget. This process was as open and transparent as any budget process I've yet participated in, and your help with that made it so. And I want to thank my colleagues on this council for deliberating with civility and integrity. I don't agree with everything in this budget. I think we're short-sighted on the school's budget in a way that will only make next year more painful, but there's much to be proud of here. This council continues to fund public safety as its top priority, without neglecting the third critical leg of the public safety stool, our correctional officers. In addition, we are poised to complete our new public safety building with full facilities for our sheriff's department, and then install our 911 center there, leaving the existing facilities a backup. We are making investments that we prudently need to make in IT and other critical services across the county. This budget lives up to our commitments to prudent fiscal management and for committing that additional penny on the property tax to public safety. And for that reason, this is a budget that I'm prepared to support.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Lesher. Yep.
Generally, I support the budget. It was with deep regret that I couldn't vote to support it, only because of having some assurances on the record that, in fact, the money that was going to be appropriated for the priority positions, which I think are extremely important, I just needed more assurances that it in fact could go to that position. Not that I don't trust the Talbot County Board of Education, because I do. But I just wanted to make sure that it was in fact going to be used for that purpose. But I do support the schools, and I'm glad that I was the only one that voted no.
Okay.
Well, I want to thank Clay and staff and Martha and Caitlin for getting us through this process. This is our third budget, and I must say, to me, this was the most challenging budget that I've ever sat through. The decisions were very hard on some items. The decisions were extremely hard for Talbot County Public Schools because as a supporter of education, like Mr. Lesher said, we did initially believe that the 1.1 should have been given, various different reasons between the two of us, but we felt it was important to do the 1.1 million. So we had to compromise. My colleagues made this budget a little bit easier for me, and I truly appreciate that. And I want to thank Talbot County Public Schools as well for answering the questions that I had. Thank you, Dr. P. Thank you, Cindy and Andy as well, because it was a lot of questions that were flying because it was a challenge to get down to the nitty-gritty and get to a point where the money was allocated to the school system. So I just want to say thank you to you guys as well And we will certainly do our best and continue to support Talbot County Public Schools. So thank you for the partnership. Thank you for the transparency. And thank you for the continued partnership as well.
Okay, thank you. Dave?
Yeah, I'll continue in the vein of thanks here. Just thanks to all the staff, thanks to all of our departments, thanks to all of our agencies who are part of this and make this happen. Like I said, it was definitely a heavy lift this year, but everyone buckled down and we made it happen here. So just wanted to extend the thanks. Great job, everyone.
Okay, good. And I'll say the same thing what my colleagues did. First of all, guys, thanks so much, Martha and Caitlin. You made it easy for us, really. I really thought what Keisha was saying about this is our third budget together with this council, and I thought it went very, very good. We did a little bit different style this year, and I thought staff did a good job really doing their homework and bringing everything to us, and cutting down a little bit of the stuff with the department heads and stuff. And it wasn't nothing against them, but I have to reach out to them and tell them they did a great job too, prepping for it, give us all the information that we needed. So I think I think Brian Moore was kind of mad that he didn't get up in front of us, right? You know what I mean? So he wanted to come really bad, I'm sure. So, but all kidding aside, this is tough to do, and I can say, Clay, you did a phenomenal job because we were under budget this year. So, and a lot of people don't realize that, and you worked real hard, and council worked real hard to get us under budget, and I think it was close to $1 million, somewhere in that range. So, and I really want to thank Dr. P and Andy and your staff and the school too for being transparent, things coming in here, talking through it. We got a tough job to balance things. And Andy, I really appreciate you not going crazy with the signs. You know what I mean? I love that, and you were good, you were respectful, and we were kidding around, but that does mean a lot to us. It really does, because we are all partners, you know what I mean? And you guys are passionate about what you do, and me and Keisha, we went to Easton High. We went to public school here, so it means a lot to us too. So you guys keep up the good work. We're here for you. So you need to know that. But Mr. Stepp, do you want to say a few words?
Mr. Stepp?
I said it again, didn't I? I've done that twice now. Sorry, Dave. I didn't want to do that to you. Mr. Stamp. God.
No, Council, I'd just like to say a couple things real quick. The department heads, they were highly supportive of the process that we had this year. Yeah. They respected it. They felt good about it. So we did check in with them on that. Again, kudos to you, Council, for the time that you put in. I think that Talbot County, with your efforts and the efforts of our staff, I agree, Caitlin, Martha, Jessica, the team came together and worked really hard this year. And, we recognized, we built on a foundation of conservative budgeting that we inherited from previous councils and has served this county well over the years. And we are in a bit of uncharted waters right now. The fiscal, the economic landscape out there is a bumpy ride right now. When Tom Barkin was here from the Fed, he used the analogy of driving a car in the fog. You slow down, you put your flashers on, you may even have to pull over. So this year we knew that we needed to flatten the budget out. We needed to live within our means. This is on the backside of investing largely in education and public safety. And we're at a place right now where we can level off. This council has seen that we built a good rainy day fund and set a reserve policy, which is fiscally prudent. And that was all this was all confirmed by our recent rating by both Moody's and Fitch. Fitch reaffirmed our AAA rating, and Moody's reaffirmed our AA1 rating as well. And that's something that you all can be very proud of, and the people of Talbot County. So thank you for your leadership. Thank you, staff, for everything that we're doing. I think we're in the right place at the right time, and we're doing the job for the people. So thank you.
Thank you. And I want to mention one thing, Mr. Thomas, I really appreciate all you've done, because you're the one putting sort of the blueprint here together. So you did a great job, and we really appreciate you working with staff and getting all that straight for us too. So we appreciate you too.
Great, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay. All right.
Ready to vote?
I'm ready to vote.
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Yeah, the whole
Aye.
budget.
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay. All right. Okay. Next on the agenda is an update and a recommendation of Talbot County Department of Economic Development and Tourism and Easton Utilities. Okay? Here? Okay, we got two big deals coming up. Okay? Yeah. How you guys doing? Good,
Good
good,
evening, council.
good.
We're going to turn the narrative on its head just
Uh-oh.
a little bit.
Okay.
Cassandra Van Hooser,
Okay.
Director of Economic Development
There
and
you
Tourism
go.
for Talbot County.
Okay.
And my partner, John Horner, from Easton Utilities, President and CEO. And we're here to talk about the FY24 Homestretch Difficult to Serve Properties Grant that we received. So we're going to turn the narrative on its head a little bit, in that instead of asking for money, we're asking for permission to turn back some money to the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development. So we received a $1.1 million grant. We applied in late 2023 and were awarded the grant in February of 2024. And this is for properties that are difficult to serve with broadband. And as you know, we have a ongoing project that is going to set us up for the future and deliver broadband access to every citizen in Talbot County. And the difficult to serve properties were those that were a little bit more difficult to fund, and the state of Maryland had a pot of money. They decided to divide it equally and to make it available to jurisdictions. So the reason we're here talking about this is because we're the grant holder and not our partner, Easton
Gotcha.
Utilities. So in the recent visit with Jake Day, the Secretary of Department of Housing and Community Development, their Deputy Director for the Office of Statewide Broadband was there, and they mentioned to us that they would like for us to consider if we were going to have any unused funds by the end of the project, and if we might be able to share with other counties. And so I'm going to turn it to John here to describe to you what the thinking was, the logic, and what the recommendation is. So John?
Sure. Good evening, council. When we were first asked about this by the Department of Housing and Community Development, we sharpened our pencils, took a look at all of the grant funding we still have available, and this source of grant funding, frankly, is the one source that is the least cost-effective to those that would benefit from it. In other words, there's more strings attached to this particular type of grant funding than there are to some of the other ones that remain out there. As an example, the USDA Reconnect program offered to us an additional $1.5 million in basically grant funding that we could use for all purposes associated with broadband, including the drops for customers in the grant funded area. This particular type of grant funding, we're limited in the amount of funding we can use per property, and there is a large match associated with using this limited amount of grant funding for each property. So we took a look at all the funding we have left, and there was an opportunity for us to return $400,000 of the $1.1 million. This does not change the fact that we are the first county to be fully funded to provide broadband to all of those who are unserved, and we still intend to complete the project by or before the end of next calendar year.
Okay. All right.
One more thing, if you don't mind,
Yes.
Mr. Callahan.
Yes.
We also did not want to get to the end of this project and have not sharpened our pencils and have $400,000 in funding left and be asked the question, when we asked you earlier, why didn't you consider returning the funds then?
Yeah.
So I'll just put that
Understand.
out there as well.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it won't affect the project at all, and you have a letter before you to consider our recommendation, which is to return $400,000 of a $1.1 million grant.
Okay. Mr. Lesher?
Well, congratulations, I guess. Thank you. The good news here, of course, is that the project is moving ahead in fully funded fashion and on schedule. And for that, you have a lot of happy new customers, and those same people are happy constituents to me. And for that, I owe you a lot of thanks. You and your team and your contractors who are making this happen out there all across the county. Thank you for doing this.
In this day and age, to have a basis for some conservative use of funds is very impressive. So appreciate your gesture and what you're doing. Thank you.
Yep.
I echo what my colleague said.
Yep.
To return money is, probably a first. But certainly agree with your recommendation. So thank you for bringing this to our attention.
Yep. Mr. Stapp?
Hey, thank you, sir. I'll keep it very short, very
Yep.
sweet. Excellent work and excellent stewardship, everyone. Thank
Yep,
you.
yep. And I'll say the same thing. It just shows you the transparency and the trust between the town and the county. That's what it shows. And we really, really appreciate you coming to us and letting us know that. And I think it shows our merit to the state. It shows that we're all as a team, and when we need help, we might tell them to keep that 400 over here just in case we need it, So, but it just shows you we're all trying to work together and make everything work. But no, John, you've done a great job with everybody, like Pete said, with all your contractors and all the stuff that you're doing, and really pretty much on time and under budget, so to speak. Really good job.
Thank
Very, very proud of what you're doing, that's for sure.
It's a team effort.
Yeah.
I personally haven't installed any fiber or run any conduit or.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, I'm
an
with you.
amazing team effort,
Yeah.
great partnership with the state,
Yeah.
with the federal government, with the county, certainly the town and all the team back at Easton Utilities and our contractors. It takes everyone to get it done.
So Secretary Day, you tell him to come in here, and we're gonna hand him that big check, Everybody sees that,
That's
you know
right.
what I mean?
Cut a check
Everybody
back.
sees that, exactly. So, okay.
Mr. Callahan,
Yes, sir.
I'll move the return as recommended.
Okay. Okay, we got a motion second. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
guys, I
Have a great
appreciate
night.
it. Okay.
Good job.
Okay, next up, update on the Neighborhood Service Center. Mr. Stepp, you want to go update us on that?
Stamp.
Stamp.
Councilmember Stepp, the council
God.
president referred to me as Councilmember Stepp.
Again. It's this dyslexia stuff going on, sorry,
You're fine, you're fine.
It's a step up.
God,
I
it
know,
is a
I know
step up.
Dave is quiet, Dave is being
God.
quiet.
It's starting to get embarrassing now. God.
Council, yes, this is in response to a question that we were asked at the April 15th council meeting, and with an attempt to bring clarity to what the relationship is between Talbot County government and the Neighborhood Service Center as the community action agency. And I'm going to review a memo that I gave to you. Of course, you've seen it, but I want to go over it so that the public has an opportunity to hear what that relation
Right.
is. And also, I just want to, out of respect, make sure that you recognize that Marilyn Neal is here, the executive
Yes.
director of the Neighborhood Service
Yeah.
Center as well.
Yeah.
So bear with me if you don't mind. In 1964, the Economic Opportunity Act was launched, known as the War on Poverty, and created a community action agencies across the country to address poverty through community-driven solutions funded directly from the federal government. And then in 1981, the Community Services Block Grant Act replaced the direct federal funding with block grants to states, consolidating various programs while maintaining the core mission of the community action agencies, reducing poverty and promoting self-sufficiency. State of Maryland, under the Housing and the Community Development Article 8-104 of the Maryland law, counties may designate a community action agency. However, such designation does not obligate a county to provide funding. Designated community action agencies must meet state oversight requirements, including annual reporting to the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development to ensure fiscal and programmatic compliance. Talbot County. In January of 1985, the Talbot County Council designated the Neighborhood Service Center as the official community action agency. Although not legally required, the county has provided funding support which averaged $83,000 annually between 2008 and 2020, then increased each year to about $374,472 in FY 2025. This is both for operating and capital funding. Most of the Neighborhood Service Center's funding is derived from federal, state, and private sources. County involvement is limited to its authority to designate a community action agency and have representation on the Neighborhood Service Center board as outlined in its bylaws. And the Neighborhood Service Center is a 501c3 nonprofit organization governed by bylaws with representation from local government, community organizations, and individuals who support its mission. It operates independently of the Talbot County government. As a designated community action agency, the Neighborhood Service Center reports to the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. So hopefully that sheds some light on the relationship between Talbot County government and the Neighborhood Service Center as our community action agency.
Okay, great. Any questions, council?
No.
That clears some things up for us?
Yeah,
Yep.
questions?
Yeah. Okay, good.
Thank you, Clay.
Yep.
Thank you, Clay.
Mr. Stepp, do you have any questions or anything?
Nope, no questions here. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Stamp. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay. You're starting to look up when I say stamp, though, but you know what I mean. Okay. All right. Next, Mr. Stamp, you're up.
Okay, under
Okay.
County Manager
Yep.
Report this evening, I have several items for you, Council, for consideration. The first is appointments to boards and committees. This would be the Public Works Advisory Board. We're requesting council consideration for the reappointment of Corey Buxton to the Public Works Advisory Board. And this recommendation is supported by Ray Clark, the county engineer, and Mr. Buxton has served well over his time on that board, which I'm sure Pete Lesher as liaison could attest to as well.
Okay.
I'll move the reappointment.
Second.
Here we go, motion second. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
And Council, the next item I have a request to designate Richard Culotta as the official town crier for Talbot County, Maryland. As you read in your agenda packet, Mr. Culotta is requesting a letter of support from the Talbot County Council to designate him as an official town crier of Talbot County. He has received a similar endorsement from the town of Easton and the Colonel Tench Tillman chapter of the SAR. Mr. Culotta is seeking the letters so he can join the American Guild of Town Criers.
We've made a lot of appointments, but this one is a first. I'll move to grant the request.
Second.
All right, we got a motion second. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay.
Council, the next item I have is a request from the Roads Department. They're seeking council approval to contract with David A. Bramble Incorporated. This is amending an existing contract to pave the remaining half of Glebe Road that is maintained by Talbot County at a cost of $193,000. There are sufficient funds for this project. And again, we're asking your permission to expend those funds for that purpose.
Motion to approve the request?
Second.
Okay, we got a motion seconded. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you, council. I ask Cassandra to come forward. She has a request for you, and I'll let her run with it, and I'll fill in anything that I may be able to help.
Hello again.
Hey there.
I'm disappointed you didn't say hear ye when you were talking about the Crier. So, Cassandra Van Hooser, Director of Economic Development and Tourism. I'm here to ask you to award a bid for the tourtalbot.org website redesign to a company called Destination by Design in the dollar figure of $70,000. So we were awarded a grant from the Economic Development Administration through the Maryland Maryland Office of Tourism Development. And this was a non-compete grant, so this same $112,320 grant was awarded to every county in the state of Maryland, or every DMO in the state of Maryland. There are 25. Baltimore City and Ocean City have their own DMO, and then every county. And we all had access to this money based on a successful application for a successful project. And ours is the redesign of our website. And our longtime web developer has had to step off for personal reasons, and we're looking for a new web developer. And our number one criteria was that we're looking for a specialist in destination marketing. And we had two companies that met that criteria. We interviewed them both, and we have selected Destination by Design. We are very excited about this. We love our current website. I want to be clear about that. But we need a new web developer, and this is going to take us into the future with a company that specializes in what we do. So we are asking you to award this bid to that company.
Okay. Any questions, council?
I just have one question.
Yep.
So, Cassandra, the website is just for the tourism side or the economic development and tourism side?
So as you can see, we put tourtalbot.org website redesign, but we have additional funds. So in our discussions with this company, they do government websites, they do economic development, specialize in economic development and tourism. And so there may be an opportunity for us to link them both, and we discovered that after we put out our RFP. So we did not request that in the RFP, but we may have the additional funds to make that happen. So it's possible.
Okay, so this is just specifically for
This is
tourism right now?
specifically for tourism
Okay.
at this point.
Okay.
That's what our application was.
Okay.
But we can amend that after we see, down the road if that's what we want to do.
So I guess I'm oblivious to this. So there's two separate websites, one for
Yes.
economic development and one for tourism?
Yes,
Is that how you have it
the
set up?
tourism website is visitor focused, and that's
Uh-huh.
where, we use that to market to people who want to visit the area or who live here and want to know what to see and do. And it's, very much outwardly focused. And our Talbot Works website is where all of our business information for our local businesses or site selectors. We have a wonderful new AI site selector tool that we have implemented in the last couple of years. So that site is all business information. This is for visitors.
Okay, yeah, I knew I had been on one of them, so I
Yes.
was trying to figure that
You've
out.
probably
Okay.
been on both.
Yeah, I have, now that you say
Yes.
that, okay.
We
All right.
also have several other websites. FrederickDouglassBirthplace.org is one of our websites. So we have several.
Multiple.
And there is a possibility that we could integrate all of them into this project.
Okay, thank you.
But this specific,
Tourism.
Tour Talbot.
Got it. Thank
.org.
you. Thank you.
So one question off the top of
Yes,
your
sir.
head, do you have on the, about how many hits do you have a year on that website, roughly?
So I just gave a presentation to the tourism board, and we looked at the number that over since 2017 with a specific contractor. And driven by that contractor alone, it was, I believe, 1.34 million
Wow.
in
hits.
that last
Wow.
5-year time period. So we, spend our marketing money to drive people to that website. That's
Yes.
our storefront. So we're getting a lot of visitors.
That's
I can
great.
get you the exact number
No,
though,
no,
for
no,
a
I
year.
know, that's all I need.
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't want you to go through 1 million of them, that's for sure. Yeah, no problem, no, now, I was just curious, you know what I mean?
Well, I'll get you that
That just
exact number.
that just shows you what is that, 5 years, that's a couple 100,000.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We get really good traffic to our
you
website.
do, that's cool.
And, you know, people are spending more than 3 minutes on our website. That's
okay.
huge. That's a
Okay.
metric that we look at. It's
I
3
see.
minutes and 36 seconds, I believe, is what the average
Good.
user is coming to that website.
Good.
So again, this is our #1 asset when it comes to marketing Talbot County.
Gotcha.
And the bridge between economic development and tourism, particularly for our website, is that it's showcasing the quality of life that we have here, which is one of the primary reasons that people bring their business here.
Gotcha. Well, good job. Good job. Any other questions, council?
No.
Okay, so is there a,
Motion to approve the request.
yep,
Second?
okay, we got a motion second. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Cassandra. And I'll ask Ray Clark, your county engineer, to come forward. He has a request regarding a construction project on Goldsboro Neck Road. And he will fill you in on that at this point. Ray?
Thank you. Council Ray Clark, County Engineer. Very quickly, we're coming before you to request the closure of Goldsboro Neck Road. Primarily, this is the detour map that we'll be utilizing. We're currently looking at, I guess, widening up the culvert just southwest of Villa Road. And then once we've done that, we'll also, David A. Bramble's the contractor, so I just want to let you all know too that we'll be coordinating with David A. Bramble associated with the closure road as well as the Glebe Road road work as well. So we're going to do as much as we can to minimize any impacts if the road is closed and they're doing any resurfacing. Again, we were trying to do this between June 15th when the permit allows us to start work up to Labor Day at this point in time. What I will be honest with you is that we just met with Easton Utilities and Verizon to try and wrap up our utility relocations this morning, and we're hoping at this point in time that we can still proceed with the June 15th, but if we are not able to do that and we have to slide it out further, let's say the June 21st or 22nd, we'll do that. We're not going to close the road just to close the road. So, it'll be closed when we're ready to do the work. But we're coming before you all to begin the process of providing notices to the various agencies and departments, as well as providing public notice as well.
In council, this is, Ray, and you can speak to this. This is part of a larger project
It
that
is.
started some time ago, which includes the overlay on Airport Road and Goldsboro Neck, the widening of Goldsboro Neck Road that occurred some years ago. And of course, it narrowed back down at Villa up to Glebe Road because of that culvert area, and this would complete this project. It will be an inconvenience, clearly, to a lot of folks because that's a well-used piece of roadway. But as you see on the map up there, the detour would be through the Mistletoe Drive back out to Goldsboro Neck beyond the construction site. Ray, the question is this once you start the project, will the closure be permanent, or will there be days that might be open or not?
Unfortunately, it's going to be best for us to close the road completely so we can stage out there. So the key would be for us to stage. One of the things we are going to be doing on the upstream side of the culvert at Villa, just southwest of Villa, we're going to actually have to pour the wing walls. So we're going to have forms set up and the concrete delivered and whatnot. So we will have to close that section of roadway. We're hoping for as minimal time as possible. So if we can get that road reopened and go to a single lane closure, we'll do that. So I would anticipate right now probably looking at about a 6-week time frame for full closure. But if we can keep it less than that, we will do so.
That's great.
And I guess real quick, this is
Yeah.
also part of that rural economic investment fund that we're receiving $750,000 towards that project. So we have to get this done before December. So that's the other reason we're pushing.
Okay.
So, I just have one question. So Villa Road will remain open, but it may be limited to one lane?
We
Am I
will be doing
understanding that correctly?
we will be doing work on Villa Road. Right now, Villa will be open. It will be open, but when we do work on Villa Road, it will be a single lane closure. We are not closing access on Villa
Yeah,
Road.
okay.
Ray, does it make sense, like, because a lot of that Mistletoe Drive would be local traffic,
Correct.
most of it,
Correct.
you know what I mean? Does it make sense to like when they're on St. Michael's Road and they do the cut through to detour them to Easton?
I think
and they
what
bypass?
we're gonna probably do what we did the last time. We
Okay.
did this about 2 years ago. At the
Uh-huh.
end of 2023, we did a road closure for Glebe Road
Uh-huh.
and Goldsboro Neck when we replaced that culvert.
Yeah.
So we'll probably put signage out at Airport Road.
Right.
So we'll let
Yes.
them know not to go down that way. The road
Yes.
is closed. So that
Uh-huh.
a lot of the, let's say, people that do on the St. Michael's bypass
Yeah.
coming in off of US Route 50 will go down to 322 and take that.
Right, correct.
And that's gonna, what we're hoping for is we'll probably identify that detour route for that traffic.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're hoping the local traffic, they'll be able to use the best routes that they
Yeah.
find need,
Yeah,
you know.
right.
Will you do the same for the other side of traffic coming out of St. Michael's, making a left on?
That'll, yeah, we'll probably keep that simple, for, let's say, a lot of, let's say, unsuspecting traffic or non-local traffic.
Uh-huh.
We'll probably send them down Mistletoe and then have them cut back in. Hopefully, they'll recognize 322 is probably a little easier to do, but,
Yeah,
yeah, we were
you're
just
right.
gonna try and,
That's what I was thinking.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
So of course, we'll need council's approval to move forward for the road closure.
Yeah.
For next
Mhm.
year, yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Clark, is there an opportunity to continue our stormwater ditch retrofit as part of this project?
At this point, we're doing everything we can to widen that ditch on the Talbot, I guess, Commerce Park side. We're doing what we can over there, yes. We're not gonna get as wide as we had purchased land in, on Goldsboro Neck Road on the other side. So I don't,
Yes.
we'll be limited in what we can do over there, but we're gonna do our best to do some stuff.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Stepp, you have any questions?
None here, thank you.
Okay.
I'll move to approve the road closure.
Okay. Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
We're just winning all kinds of friends with road closures on this side of the county.
We don't like them either, but it has to happen.
Exactly.
So council, I'll keep, I was ready to stay here. I'm looking forward to, as well as you, cutting a ribbon on the North EMS station sometime, hopefully later this year. So Ray has an update. I think we have a green light on several issues related to starting construction on that project. We do have one ask of you this evening, which is a change order involving adding a sprinkler system in the garage area. But Ray will go over that with you.
Council, again, this is the change order associated with the review of the fire marshal. Unfortunately, we have to actually have sprinklers inside the garage bay, which is a 4-bay garage. That's now requiring us to put in a 25,000-gallon holding tank for that sprayer, for the sprinkler system. So we had originally thought it was going to cost about $404,000. We've worked with the fire marshal. We worked on a solution. It's only now, bad news is going to only cost us $253,800, but that's going to be the change order to do that. Again, the original project had the sleeping area and the, let's say the office area, sprinkled, but we're being required to basically sprinkle the entire building. So that's where we're caught, so.
So just clarification, Ray, I'm looking here.
I apologize, it's 166. I was looking at change order number 2.
Thank you.
It's even cheaper than that. It's 166,800. I apologize. So
Okay.
So
I'm
we're
just
requesting
preparing.
council approve change order number 3, bid number 24-14 to Industrial Engineering Company, IUC, in the amount of $166,800 for the sprinkler system. And this should be hopefully the last time we come back to you
I hope
before
so,
we
too.
cut a ribbon. And there are sufficient funds in the budget for this.
I'll move approval of change order number 3 to bid 2414.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion second. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
And just to give you an update, we are hopefully in the process. We'll be starting construction on the entrance. We do have to work with the MTA I can get the licensing agreement out of the Assistant AG's office with MDOT. So that's where we're stuck right now, but we'll do our best to get that out of there.
Okay.
So.
And Ray, you want to move on, the next item, the Department of Public Works requesting council approval to apply and accept FY26 Bay Restoration Fund Septic System Upgrade Program funding.
Yes, council, this is a, each year and I apologize, we just received notice from MDE on this last week, that ultimately the application is due June 6th. This is primarily to request funding through the Bay Restoration Fund, grants for septic systems. As part of this, we do receive grants to assist in sewer connections on a 1-by-1 scenarios. So we have roughly, I think it was, let me look here, I think it was, how many we have?
$2,125,300.
Right, I think it was 10 sewer connections and 40 connections is what we're looking at, or ultimately, I'm sorry, it was 30 OSDS and 20 connections. So this is, again, a grant request of, I think it's $2 million, if I'm not mistaken, is actually the application. But typically each year we receive between $900 and $1 million out of this program.
Okay.
So council, we're asking permission to apply for and accept up to $2,125,300 for Bay Restoration Fund funding.
Okay.
Motion to approve the request.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lisher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you.
Council, I have two more requests from the Department of Technical Services. The first is that they're requesting council approval to procure 36 Dell computer monitors and accessories at a cost of $85,054.85 using National Cooperative Purchasing Alliance contract, which is a group purchasing contract. There are sufficient funds in the budget for this purchase.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lisher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Thank you, council. And finally, Department of Technical Services requesting council approval to purchase network infrastructure devices at a cost of $260,010.49 from ePlus Technology Incorporated by piggybacking on the State of Maryland contract. There are sufficient funds in the budget for this purchase.
Motion to approve the request.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lisher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Council, thank you. That completes your county manager report for this evening.
Thank you.
Sounds great. Good job.
We have a list.
Oh, okay, she forgot. Come on up.
My name is Sarah Kilmans, Communications Manager for Talbot County. I didn't make the official agenda, so I will give this update now. Talbot 250 Commission has been working on a lot of projects. You should have received the quarterly report, which kind of gives an overview of what we've got going on. But I did want to make the public aware of our next event that we are very excited about. It's called Talbot Treasures. And essentially it is a community roadshow, show and tell kind of event. So how it works is you register an item and then you're gonna bring it to the Waterfowl building on the second weekend of June. And we're gonna have basically a exhibit of people's family memorabilia, letters. I've heard of a lot of exciting things coming, including deeds of special houses in the area, lots of things. We have a top hat from the Talbot Historical Society that was worn by one of the original founding members of the Quaker Meeting House. So there's some really exciting stuff that maybe you don't usually get to see because it's not on display. So what I am encouraging everyone to do is look through their attic and see if they can find something that has a story to tell. We would love to see it, and we'd love to share it with the community. If you'd like more information, you can go to talbot250.org, and you'll find a page called Talbot Treasures, and that'll have information about the event and how to register. And you will also see a list of items that have already been registered.
Okay, thank you. Good job. All right, Antique Roadshow. There we go. There we go. All right.
And apparently we have nobody signed up for public comment.
We don't? Okay. No public comment? No public comment. Yeah, don't have nothing. Okay, got nothing. Okay, all right, we got council comments next, okay? Mr. Stepp, we're gonna let you go. You wanna say anything?
No, here, Mr. Callahan.
Yep.
Thanks so much.
Okay,
Have a
but,
great evening, everyone.
okay, thanks a lot for being here. Okay. Mr. Lesher?
Congratulations to the graduates of Chesapeake College, their families, faculty, and administrators, including those graduates in the nursing program who received their pins just last week. And congratulations in advance to the Easton High School class, which is graduating tomorrow in their commencement ceremonies. I will be there to support them. Likewise to St. Michael's high school graduates on Thursday, to, again, those graduates, but also all of those who have supported them, their families,
Right.
faculty and administrators. And to all Talbot County families and graduates supporting their family members who have graduated anywhere across the country. We have a wide reach in this county. This is a time of celebrations and transitions.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, yep.
This Friday, May 30th, there'll be a Memorial Day celebration, or ceremony, excuse me, hosted by the VFW on Glebe Road, starting at 3 and running till 4. And I urge everybody to turn out to commemorate our local fallen heroes.
Okay.
Following in the same vein as Councilman Lesher, had the opportunity to attend the Chesapeake College commencement last week, where former Senator Cardin was the commencement speaker. But it was a great turnout of those that walked the stage at Chesapeake College, and they did an amazing job. So congratulations to them. And then likewise, as my colleague stated, we both will be attending the Easton High School graduation tomorrow, and then St. Michael's on Thursday. So congratulations to all the families. It takes a village to get everyone across that finish line to graduate, and I'm so thankful. I only have 2 more years left for our last one to graduate college. So God bless all of those that's going on to college and spending all of that money and using that Maryland 529 plan.
Yep.
So
Thank you. And once again, we want to thank staff and
Not Mr. Staff.
no. I was thinking of that though, you know what I mean? But Martha and
That
Kate.
Mr. Stepp, this Mr. Stepp.
Yeah, Martha and Caitlin, just with the whole budget, it's a big deal. And just thanks so much, because, you know, you spent so much time on it, you know, for what, 5 months roughly. So I just want to pat you guys on the back, you know, and really appreciate it, so, okay. Yep, good team, so, all right.
The County Council's next meeting will be held on Tuesday, June 10th, beginning at 5:00 p.m. The Council will be convening an open session at 2:30 p.m. for a joint work session with the Planning Commission on a proposed text amendment concerning short-term rentals and the Short-Term Rental Review Board, and then adjourning into closed session as listed on the statement for closing that meeting. Therefore, is there a motion to adjourn this meeting and reconvene as noted?
So moved.
Okay, we got a motion and second. Madam Secretary, call the vote.
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp? He's gone.
I think Mr. Stepp's gone, yep.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, thanks a lot.